And a hello to you. Thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and what a lovely 1966 boxing-style Otis Redding concert poster. Just a beautiful 14 by 22 inch piece of cardboard, and I'll do a top-to-bottom scan for you here. Look at that, in a dance concert. Wow, the Otis Redding Show. Great picture, of course, well-known publicity shot. It's got the stars on it and everything. At the Fillmore, look at that. Wow. Amazing. Just a beautiful poster, although you may prefer, if you collect psychedelic art, this is basically a direct counterpart to this Bill Graham poster because it was a Bill Graham show. And you've seen this, obviously, if you're any kind of fan of psychedelic and Bill Graham posters and so forth. So this is the more standard poster, the more common one, and the one that collectors generally covet. It's got nice artwork and everything. But this one is the the scarcer boxing-style version made of cardboard, and they both coexisted obviously around the Bay Area. In fact, it's pretty easy to deduce. What you had is basically marketing to different demographics and different audiences. That this was made for the black population in the Bay Area, such as Oakland and so forth. But still, what I find really amazing is there's no mention of Bill Graham's name at all. I wonder if Otis Redding's management arranged this poster or something. I'm surprised Bill didn't at least have his name in fine print at the bottom or something. But they basically just really wanted to sell this to the black audience, and they didn't want to confuse it and have them think it was a psychedelic hippie show or something. So this is just a straight ahead, good old 60s R&B boxing style concert poster, and then you had the psychedelic Bill Graham poster, which appealed to the hippies and the Haight-Ashbury crowd and everything. And there was very little overlap at all in the marketing. So now this is a boxing style with what we call split fountain, but it's just in the lettering. Quite often a split fountain poster changes colors from top to bottom in the background. This is just in the lettering, where it goes at the top is red, and then segues into black, and then the bottom segues into blue. So it's a nice colorful effect, and it's a nice printing process. It looks pretty cool on old posters. But like any boxing style poster, it's just very plain and simple and straight ahead information. It was just get the information across, and that's the very nature of these boxing style posters, and that's something this one certainly does beautifully. I also love the plug on here, where it says, right under the word show there, it says number one, 1965's, get it up there a little further, number one R&B male vocalist, according to a Cashbox magazine poll. And of course Cashbox was very popular trade magazine at the time. Billboard was always number one, but Cashbox and Record World were right there with them. And it's a nice quote for Otis, but it's not a surprise. I mean, he was everybody's favorite R&B vocalist for several years in the early to mid 60s. So Bill Graham's name's not on the poster. It's on the psych one, of course. What did Graham think of this show? Thought it was okay. You should hear Graham gush in his autobiography. It's just, oh my God, really. Bill Graham says, I'll just quote it directly. Bill Graham said, by far, Otis Redding was the single most extraordinary talent I had ever seen. There was no comparison then or now. Of course, Graham died in '91, so this was probably an '80s quote. He says, Graham went on to say, every artist in the city asked to open for Otis for this show. Janis Joplin came at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, the day of the first show, to make sure she'd be way up front, right up front. He was the man. And then Graham closed by saying, this was the best gig I ever put on in my life. That's just stunning. That's just amazing. Graham actually flew to Macon, Georgia himself to meet face-to-face with Otis and talk him and his manager into coming and playing the Fillmore. And Graham made it happen, and boy, he sure liked the results. So it's great to know that something like that is behind a collectible concert coaster. That's just so much fun. And then, of course, sadly, as you know, Otis would perish 1 year later in a plane crash just 3 days after recording his landmark Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay, which went on to carry his name all through the following year on AM radio. It just went on forever, as it should have. So Otis, we miss you and we loved you, and great to have you so represented here, and especially with such a nice, smiling, handsome picture. And by the way, this poster was manufactured not far from where the apple dropped from the tree, Tillman Poster Printing Company in Oakland, California. They did so many of these West Coast posters at the time. So, hope you enjoyed it. I love it. Great poster. Thanks a lot for dropping by, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.